Hi everybody, Scott Jors here again. This is another episode of the Wolf and the Neural Network. We need to have a very serious talk about CTV in Nova Scotia. Look at these articles from David Puglisi and Brett Ruskin regarding howling wolves in Nova Scotia. There is absolutely nothing from CTV in Nova Scotia. I've had them on thread since August 2021. It's impossible they don't know about this, didn't see this, didn't see me get falsely arrested. They didn't see all these different issues. It's impossible they didn't. That's right. They know Tim Houston showed up the morning my mom died. They know Nova Scotia Health Authority lied and tortured me. They know Kristen Holm covered up a sexual assault. They know all of this, and they're covering it up because of Bill C-18 and their involvement. They know about it, right? Tim Houston showed up the night mom died because he knew they were going to play whatever story he told them to play. He's not coming forward now, right? That's right. And how can the media know something that all of you don't know, and it's been 2 years, 3 years? That's right, because it's all a big lie. You see, CTV's trying to get a lie from Tim Houston and the government so they can justify why they didn't do anything, because if not, they have to tell all you why they didn't, and they're just victims, don't you know? That's right. So they had these people on there this whole time. They could have said something. They could have investigated the abuse against me and what happened. They could have investigated these howling wolves. Look at the police planting evidence of my GPS at this location. Because CTV's main agenda is not news. These are not journalists, and I'm sorry that we have to have this conversation and you have to learn about this way. These people don't have integrity. Think about it. Would the police and stuff have done this if they thought these journalists had integrity? No. They did it because they know exactly that they don't have integrity, that they're bought and sold, and that they're not going to do anything. So is it surprising that this is what's going on? No, this is by design, which means for what, last 40 years? You've just been given stories that they wanted you to hear, which isn't that surprising, but to see it so spelled out like this, look at this. You got the government accusing me now, what, of being Russian disinformation and a Russian spy. So, I bet you CTV would have played that in a second, wouldn't they? Of course they would. You see, what CTV was going to do is they know this game really well, right? So, I had to file a formal complaint with the police commissioner, right? This would be Patrick Kieran, Ron Laguerre, Jonathan Jeffries. Now, they knew these people were going to lie. See, the police would have to open a case, but not if these people all lie and say there was no founding to it because he's the police complaints commissioner. So, of course, they were all going to lie. A person with 7th grade reading skills knows they're going to lie, and you can go look at it for yourself, right? But then they would issue a Form 11, which CTV would request under Freedom of Information, knowing it's redacted, and all the parties would say, we're victims, we're heroes, life's so hard. But they couldn't because I released The Wolf and the Neural Network, the web version, like 7 days before they got to release their Form 11. So they couldn't play that card and slander and defame me and pretend to be the victim because everybody knew the website and all the evidence existed. These people know what they're doing. No, these people are dirty people and they know how to play this game. They know exactly what they're doing, Nova Scotia. Here's them with, just before Stephen McNeil resigned, with Kevin McCoy on calling him daddy and everything. They would have to explain away this behavior and why they didn't do anything. And you already know why they didn't, because of Bill C-18. The Online News Act. That's right. And they would have to explain why they didn't tell anybody or didn't do anything. And you already know the reason, because they're not journalists. I'm calling for the Journalistic Accreditation. I'm giving CTV 1 week to run a story. If not, I am not going to stop until CTV has their Journalistic Accreditation revoked. Okay? I think that's fair, right? Like, I mean, look at this issue. A global technical expert spoon-fed you. It's right here in Nova Scotia. I mean, what a test to all Nova Scotia, right? The quality of our media. And you know they're not going to play a story, and when they do, they're the victims and heroes. You want to believe it. Nova Scotia, I'm sorry you had to learn about this way, but remember that when you're watching Steve Murphy, you're watching Todd Battis, they're lying to you on a daily. They know I'm right. And they're going to sit back and make all these excuses and clench pearls and pretend they're victims and heroes and say, you chose this, Scott. And that's right. And they chose to do nothing. Sit back and watch and blame everybody and lie to each of you. I never lied to you. I chose action. They chose inaction and chose to pretend to be victims and heroes. Well, they sat back and watched serious abuse, including sexual assault, torture, humiliation, degradation, and watched the government and police frame me just for a few minutes of airtime. Right? That's the difference in people. You can judge me all you want. I faced it. I'm here. I'm not lying to you. But every day, they don't face it. They lie to you every day. Have a good day, Canada.